Like and subscribe right now, or you're going to have bad luck for the rest of the week. Humans and animals spend so much time together that it's normal for both to become attached to the other. This means when one of them must move on past this life, they must say goodbye. Death is part of life, though always tragic, but at least we have the sweet memories to hold on to. For today's video, we'll be looking at 10 heartbreaking instances between pets and their owners. Grab some tissues, because these are some very sad stories. We just hope that you watching this video will give you a new insight into how people bond with animals. And maybe you'll go adopt an animal yourself. 10 heartbreaking goodbyes between pets and their owners. Number 10. Dog says goodbye to dying owner Ryan. As a California man was facing his last hours, lying in a medical bed, his family brought his dog to see him and bid him farewell. Ryan Jessen, only age 33, had sadly experienced a ventricular cerebrum discharge and was on a ventilator at Rideout Memorial Hospital in Maryville. While there, his family quickly brought his dog of 6 happy years, Molly, to see him before he passed on. Jessen's sister Michelle recorded the bittersweet last moment between Molly and her brother and posted it on Facebook for loved ones. Jessen and Molly had grown such a close bond with each other that her owner's death hit her very hard. For a time, Molly needed extra comfort from the family as she was confused why Jessen was no longer coming home. Ryan passed on November 2. After, 7 of his organs were donated to others, including his heart, which was given to a 17-year-old Californian. With Jessen's passing, his family published his story and stressed the importance of donating organs. To date, the family has received an overflowing amount of emotional support, as millions have watched the video, many sharing their own stories of sadness. Number 9. Dying cat holds owner's hand. A Russian blue cat named Little Andrew caught many a cat lover's eye all across the world prior to his passing. His popularity shot up when a photo of Andrew holding onto his owner's hands was posted online. His owner, Abherna3, posted the photo on Reddit with the caption, "He held our hands on his last outing to the vet. Little Andrew was a lot more powerful than his mother." Reddit users responded with overflowing compassion, with comments like, "Man, that made me cry. Rest in peace, precious kitty." Andrew was a loving kitty, always looking for pets and cuddles. On the day he was to be taken to the vet, he climbed up to his owner's chest, a thing he hadn't done in several months as he'd not been strong enough. Number 8. Parrot says goodbye to dying owner. Did you know that parrots are one of the most compassionate and smart animals in the world? Their compassion especially shows when they lose someone they love. They can, and do, feel a profound sense of misery. Sinbad the parrot had to go through such sadness with his owner. They'd been together for 25 years, so naturally, Sinbad had developed quite an impressive attachment to his owner. Typically, Sinbad was playful, but as his owner lay on his deathbed, the parrot seemed to comprehend the gravity of the situation and was silent. This silence was perceived as part of the great compassion birds will often feel for those they love. In fact, as mentioned, parrots can experience so much grief when they lose a loved one that some compare it to how humans feel grief. There are even antidepressants for birds. As Sinbad's owner lay dying, he faithfully waited beside her, letting her know how much she meant to him. Number 7. Horse visits dying veteran. Hospitalized Vietnam vet Roberto Gonzalez requested one last time to be with his darling ponies before he passed on. The heartwarming and sad video shows just that. The ponies nuzzling with their owner for the very last time. His wife, Rosario, said that when the horses approached him, he actually managed to open his eyes as the horses gave him kisses. Roberto had participated in the Vietnam War during 1970. After 4 months in the country, he was badly injured, which led to paralysis. Yet, after the war, not even Roberto's physical limitations prevented him from pursuing hobbies he loved, which mainly included horses and farming. Likewise, he was an energetic tracker from Fremont, Texas. In all of Texas, he was the only paralyzed racehorse trainer. For 35 years, he lovingly prepared and raced ponies. Number 6. A Marine's loving sendoff for the cancer-stricken dog. With the salutes of citizens and patriots, Jeff DeYoung conveyed his dearest companion, Sina, a Marine battle veteran, past the horde of well-wishers as they boarded a decommissioned Navy transport in Muskegon, Michigan. The Dark Lab had been faltering from bone disease and had to be euthanized. DeYoung and Sina had served together in Afghanistan during 2009 or 2010. They were two of the many Marines that had been stationed there and to the unstable Helmand area as part of U.S. President Obama's action against the Taliban. During their long hours of watch duty, Sina would cuddle alongside him when the weather turned chilly, keeping him warm. As Sina's condition deteriorated, his owner, Marine Jacoby Ballman, posted an online fundraiser for support. More than 1,000 people responded, with donations totaling around $45,000 US. Various dog lovers and war veterans expressed their sympathy, in addition to a sense of respect for everything Sina had done. Number 5. Dog cries at grave. It's very notable that dogs are people's dearest companions. Such a prime example is Wiley the wolf dog, who was so close to his owner's late grandmother that he seems to cry at her graveside. In this saddening video, posted on YouTube April 14 by Sarah Varley 13, the loving wolf dog lays on the gravestone while shaking and making a sound not unlike crying noises. During this, his family comes around him. Wiley's owner can be heard saying, "We miss her as well," as she tries to comfort him. As of this video, Wiley's video has gained 362,000 views. Sarah Varley 13 also informed in the video's description that Wiley is one of various service dogs that helps veterans with PTSD return from war-torn regions. He and other dogs provide treatment via a program called Warriors and Wolves. But, concerning the video, some people have expressed mixed reactions, saying Wiley was actually back sneezing and not sobbing near the grave. Number 4. Loyal dogs refuse to leave their injured owner. A man who lives in the focal Peruvian waterfront town Chimbote had been drinking when he fell and hit his head badly. When an emergency vehicle arrived to hurry him to a medical clinic, his two dogs suddenly bounced in and wouldn't leave. The dogs watched on as paramedics treated the man on their way to Calita Hospital, obviously worried for their owner. All the while that their owner was taken into the hospital via stretcher, both dogs persisted to go with him as far as they were allowed. Though we don't get to see the end of the story, we are able to see that while the man was waiting to be treated in the emergency room, his two dogs were silently sitting near him. Number 3. Giraffes' final goodbye. Kisses for a dying zoo worker. A saddening video went viral of a giraffe bidding farewell to zoo laborer Mario, who'd worked most of his grown-up life cleaning the creature's fenced-in areas. Mario had terminal illness and was in critical condition when he requested to be taken into the giraffe area at Rotterdam's De Hart Breitorp Zoo. Granting his request, the 54-year-old was wheeled into the fenced-in area on his emergency clinic bed. In no time at all, the giraffe moved near him and started to nestle and kiss him. The Ambulance Wish Foundation, the organization that helped Mario get transported to the zoo, stated that Mario expressed pure joy for being able to bid farewell to his friends, the giraffes, at the zoo. He'd worked there for just about 25 years. The AWF depends on 200 volunteers to assist in making the last wishes of patients at death's door come true, by moving them in ambulances prepared for that purpose. Number 2. His pony was everything to him. Wagner Figueiredo de Lima and his pony Sorino were dearest companions, until the Brazilian man's unexpected passing from an auto collision. Realizing that the pony was so precious to his brother, Lima sibling Wando took Sorino to his owner's funeral service. Maybe the pony realized what was occurring and needed a big farewell, Wando told Globo News. Sorino first strolled around the casket, smelling it. Then, at that point, he neighed, memorial service participant Kiyoshi Brio stated. Every individual who was there was moved. I cried when I saw that scene. Next, the pony halted and set his head against the casket, giving his owner a final farewell. The whole way to the graveyard, he would whine and beat with his hooves on the ground, says the late man's sibling. Wando then made the promise to look after the horse as long as it lived. Number 1. George H.W. Bush's service dog Sully pays touching last tribute. A beautiful picture of the Labrador who was appointed as a help dog for President H.W. Bush went viral when it rested close to his casket. President Bush, the 41st president from 1989 to 1993, died at 94 years old. Sully went with the coffin on its departure from Texas to Washington and back. The 2-year-old Labrador was assigned as a service dog to President Bush, after he was reduced to moving about in a wheelchair during the last few years of his life. Sully is an extremely well-trained and talented dog who can perform numerous commands and activities. After the president's passing, Sully was appointed to help with therapy for injured soldiers. That is all for today's video. Thank you all for watching. While you're here, go ahead and click on one of these 2 videos on your screen. See you there!